Hello, everyone. This is Ma'am Sam. I hope you can hear me clearly. So, for today, we're going to have Polya's four steps of problem solving, the other part or lesson in chapter three. So, obviously, according to Polya, one proponent in mathematics, there are four steps to follow for you to easily solve a problem or accurately solve a problem. So, number one, you must understand the problem. How can you be sure that you have understood the problem? Of course, if you're able to translate the words into symbols, if you're able to interpret using variables or using illustrations, what else? If you can rephrase the problem in your own words. So, if in the first time that you have read the problem, it's overwhelming, try niyong Tagalogin. Baka mas effective, baka mas maintindihan, no? And then, you rephrase it in a way na parang inutusan lang kayo ng nanay niyo sa tindahan, ganyan. So, wag niyo masyadong isipin na, math to, numbers to, ang sakit sa ulo nito. Wag ganun. Because if you get anxious, sabi ko nga, di ba, countless times, I always mention this to you, most of the time, mathematics becomes difficult not because it's really difficult, but because you're just anxious. So relax lang. Okay? Number one, identify the known values. What are the given values? Isulat nyo lahat yan. And then you write what is being asked. Because in step number two, you will need those. So what is step number two? Of course, you have to devise a plan. So a relaxed mind is an effective thinker. Now you have to think, how are you going to use the given values that you have written to answer what is being asked? So there are several solving strategies that you may use. Guess and check, the very infamous trial and error. For some word problems, it would be very tedious, time consuming for you to use trial and error, but it is most efficient or it is efficient if you have possible answers in front of you. So ano yun? If you are having multiple choice type of problem, there, ano efficient ang trial and error. Why? Because you have the possible answers with you. You just need to input and whatever will satisfy, then that's the answer, no? What else? You can also draw or illustrate to visualize the problem, the given, 'di ba? Especially if you're a visual spatial learner, this would be effective for you. Using variables, converting or translating the words into mathematical symbols using letters and variables. Ayan, pwede rin po yun. You look for patterns, di ba? Kung ang ganitong bagay ay katumbas ng ganito, papaano pag nag-iba ng given, you look for patterns, no? And most importantly, you have to be systematic. Isa-isa lang. As I always say, you cannot solve two unknown values at the same time. If you have x plus y, equals 1, for example, x plus y equals 1, you cannot solve for both x and y at the same time. So it's either isolve mo muna yung y bago mo masasolve si x. Isa-isa lang. Okay? Now, you have your plan already. You try to carry it out. Try. Try nyo yung drafted plan ninyo. But if it does not work, you try to have another approach. 'Di ba? So you eliminate the strategies that don't work. So you just try and try until something works out. And always remember, you have to reflect, no, when you are carrying out the plan. Bakit kaya parang hindi nag-work? Baka kasi hindi nyo ginagamit lahat ng given, no? Remember, all the given statements are clues to solving the problem. Kaya nga yan ang first step. Kaya nga yan pinapasulat sa inyo. So that you will have a guide on how to solve your problems. And then after you carried out the plan, meron na kayong sagot. How will you be so sure and how will you be confident that your answer is correct? Of course, you have to check or verify, you double check to make sure that all conditions have been satisfied, all the statements have been satisfied, and then you ask yourself, did you really answer the question? So you always put the unit of measurement. For example, your answer is just 8. Anong 8 yan? Boxes ba yan? Pencils ba yan? Students ba yan? And so on. Okay, so always put that. Kung ano yung value na yon. And then another thing is you think or you try to ask yourself if your answer is reasonable, if the result is reasonable, if it is logical. So for example, if the question is how many students are left, how many students were left, tapos sasagot mo -5. Of course, wala namang -5 na bilang ng tao, no? So, obviously, there is something wrong with your solution. So you have to go back and try another strategy. And then paulit-ulit lang yan. The cycle goes on. Now, of course, to apply this one, let's try several examples, different samples so that you will be exposed to as many examples as possible. Now, hindi nyo kailangan kabisaduhin yung bawat solution, no? I will try to present different solutions because I don't want you to limit to just one solution only. So whatever works for you, kung anong mas madali, kung anong mas mabilis, edi yun ang gamitin mo. The important thing for me is just we arrive with the same and correct, of course, correct answer. Okay? So let's have the first one. So sabi dito, Lina has 1/3 as much as Macy and twice as much as John. If Macy has 120 pesos, how much does John have? Now, ngayong beginning ng ating practice, okay lang na, sige, manood muna kayo. Tapos mamaya, you try it for yourself. Pero mamaya, on the latter part of this video lecture, I want you to um, pause the video and then you try to answer by yourself and then check if we have the same answers. Okay? All right. So after reading this word problem, parang mahirap siya intindihin, no? It's kind of overwhelming because there are so many names, so much uh happening, tapos ang daming unknown, no? So for you to visualize what is really happening, you're right. Step one, write the given values. Ano yung sabi dyan? Lina has 1/3 as much as Macy and twice as much as John. So I will write first every statement. 'Di ba? Sabi ko, isa-isa lang. So isa-isa lang tayo. Okay, so this first statement muna. Lina has 1/3 as much as Macy. Kung ako estudyante, tatagalugin ko yan para mas maintindihan ko. Lina has 1/3 as much as Macy. Anong ibig sabihin nun pag tinagalog mo? Ibig sabihin, ang pera ni Lina ay 1/3 lang daw ng pera ni Macy. What is the second statement? And twice as much as John. So si Lina pa rin yun, no? Pera daw ni Lina ay doble ng pera ni John. Ibig sabihin, yung pera ni John, kalahati lang ng pera ni Lina. Tama ba? Hmm. What else? So if Macy has 120 pesos, sulat nyo rin yan. Sulat nyo lahat. I-translate nyo lahat. How much does John have? So, meron tayong tatlong pangalan, Lina, Macy, at John. Kaninong pera ang kailangan mong ma-figure out? Kay John. So, that is your unknown. Now, these are your given values. Step 2, devise a plan. Tingin ka ngayon sa mga given mo. Paano ko gagamitin tong mga given values na to sa pagsagot ng aking tanong? Ang tanong, magkano ang pera ni John? So tingin ka ulit dun sa given values mo. Mayroon ka bang nakikitang pangalan ni John? Opo, ito oh, 'di ba? Pero, sabi ko nga kanina, nakalagay dyan, Lina equals 2 times dyan. Nag-translate lang ako ha. 'Di ba ang twice ay 2 times something? 'Di ba? Okay, so ganun lang ang ginawa ni ma'am. So, Lina has twice as much as John. Hindi ko alam kung magkano yung pera ni Lina. Hindi ko rin alam kung magkano ang pera ni John. Paano ko isosolve yan? So, syempre, sabi ko nga, we cannot solve two unknown variables at the same time. So, isa-isa lang. Kung hindi ko kayang isolve ang pera ni John dahil hindi ko alam ang pera ni Lina, eh di dapat alamin ko muna kung magkano ang pera ni Lina. Kaya ba? Kaya. We make use of other given statements. Sabi dito, Lina equals one-third of Macy. Ano yung one-third of Macy? Ano yung off? When you translate it, you go back to translation ha, language of mathematics. One-third of, ano yung of? It means multiplication, right? Lina, tsaka kay Macy. May nakita pa akong pangalan ni Lina, tapos ang kasama niya si Macy. Ngayon, alam ba natin kung magkano ang pera ni Macy? Yes, ayun oh, given siya. So, pwede nating ito muna ang gamitin. Okay, we are now carrying out the plan ha. We are now carrying out the plan. So, the first thing that we will do is to find Lina's money. Kasi kailangan natin yung pera ni Lina para ma-figure out natin kung magkano ang pera ni John. So, one-third of Macy daw. Kung ang pera ni Macy ay 120, ibig sabihin, isa-substitute mo lang yan, tama? Okay, so one-third times 120 is the same as 120 divided by 3. So, 120 divided by 3, what is the answer? Ang 120, hinati mo sa tatlo, so it would be 40. Anong 40 yan? 40 pesos. Kaninong pera yan? Kay Lina. Ngayong alam na natin ang pera ni Lina, baka pwede na nating makuha yung pera ni John. Pwede na ba? Opo, pwede na. We always use substitution lang. So sabi 'di ba sa second statement, ang pera daw ni Lina ay doble lang ng pera ni John. So kung ang pera ni Lina ay 40 pesos, ayan, nalaman nyo na kung magkano yung pera ni Lina, 'di ba? Ginamit ko lang ulit dito. So 2 times John. Ngayon, pagka ganyan, ang pera ni Lina ay doble ng pera ni John. So, ibig sabihin, ang pera ni John kalahati lang ng pera ni Lina. Para matira si John dito, anong gagawin ko? Kailangan ko matanggal si 2 times. Para matanggal yung 2 times na yan, anong gagawin natin? Pagka may gusto kayong tanggalin na number sa umpisa, for example, 2 times, mga ganyan, gagawin niyo yung kabaliktaran. Ano ba ang kabaliktaran ni multiplication? Hindi ba't division? O ang division parehas lang ng fraction, so ganyan ko siya isusulat. Ano ba ang gusto mong matanggal, yung 2 or yung dyan? Hindi ba't yung 2? So, yun yung ilalagay mo, yun yung i-divide mo. So, 2 divided by 2 is 1. Eh, di ba po pagka tayo, for example, 2x over 2. Di ba pag dinivide natin yan, 2 divided by 2, 1, eh di 1 na matitira dyan. 1x, hindi na natin sinusulat yung 1, di ba? Because ano na yun, understandable that there is always an imaginary one before the variable. So kung ganyan, makancel si 2, dinivide mo eh, di ba? 1 na siya. Di si Jan na lang yung matitira dyan. Kaya lang we're having equation. Therefore, equation equal. Dapat balance. Whatever you're doing on the other side, you must also do it on the other side. So if you divided 2 on the right side, you must divide 2 as well on the left side. So it would be 40 divided by 20. So magkano ang pera ni John? 20 pesos. Kung nahihirapan kayo sa ganito, cancel-cancel, ay di isipin nyo na lang, no? Gamitan nyo ng logic. So, isulat nyo pa rin yung ganun. Isulat nyo pa rin yung ganyan. Kung ang pera ni Lina ay 40, so 2 times dyan. So, para makuha niyo yung pera ni Jan, kung ano yung nandito, i-divide nyo lang yun sa 40. Ganun lang. Di ba, hindi mo alam ang pera ni Jan? Blanco yan. Di ba, hindi mo alam ang pera ni Jan? Blanco yan. Ano ang pwede mong i-multiply sa 2 na ang sagot ay 40? Di ba, pag hindi mo alam, dinidivide mo. 40 divided by 2, 20. Ganun po. Ha? Pwede rin naman that we use visualization or illustration to visualize the problem. So, ayan, for example. So, let's say there is a rectangle here. There is one rectangle here. Of course, kanino yung buong rectangle kay Macy? At ang bilang niyan ay 120. O, ulitin ko yung drawing dito ha. Dito, makinig kayo. So, kung meron tayong isang rectangle dito, at ang sabi sa first statement, Lina has one-third as much as Macy. Ang pera daw ni Lina ay one-third lang ng pera ni Macy. So, kanino tong buong to? Kay Macy. At ano ang katumbas nitong buong to? 120. Ayun o, di ba? Macy has 120. Ano sabi? Lina has one-third as much as Macy. So, ibig sabihin, ilang beses hahatiin niyang isang buong yan? Tatlo. One, two. Ilan dyan ang kay Lina? Isa lang. Kasi one-third lang eh, di ba? One out of three lang. So, ito lang yung kay Lina. Dahil tatlong hati yan, ilan kaya or magkano kaya bawat laman? Ang 120 hinati mo sa tatlo, edi ibig sabihin, ang isang box ay magiging 40. Tama? Okay. Andiyan na ba si John? Wala pa. Pero may statement sabi, ang pera daw ni Lina ay doble ng pera ni John. So, ibig sabihin, yung pera ni John, kalahati lang kay Lina. O, hatiin mo yung pera ni Lina. Ang 40, hatiin mo sa dalawa, edi 20. Kuha mo na ang pera ni John. Ganun lang po. If you are having a hard time, if it's too fast, i-replay or slow mo until you get the process. So, ang technique lang naman is, whenever I am exposing you to different examples, you have to be familiar or remember the format. Kasi mag-iiba lang yan ng itsura, pero yung process, parehas pa rin. So, kung nakakita kayo ng ganito, mag-iiba lang ng given yan, mag-iiba lang ng pangalan, pero ang proseso, ganun pa rin ang gagawin. Okay? Sabi ko nga, ang mathematics, nag-iiba lang yan ng itsura. Pero ang proseso, hindi naman yan nag-iiba. So if you still have confusions, clarifications, hindi pa rin naintindihan, you just feel free to message me. Just ping me and then I will help you. Okay? So next one, how about you try this one? Noel has one-fourth as much money as Paolo and three times as much as Carla. If Paolo has 160 pesos, how much does Carla have? I want you to try it first. Pause the video first. You try it for yourself. You follow what we have done earlier. That's just a parallel question. Ibig sabihin, similar process, different given lang. Okay? And then you just play when you have your answers already. Please help yourselves. Wag lang kayong makinig, no? Hindi ito TikTok, hindi ito podcast. Have your whiteboard markers, your whiteboards with you, and you try as well. You learn with me. Don't just watch me. Okay, so same process. Noel has one-fourth as much money as Paolo. What will I do? I will first write all the given statements. Noel has one-fourth. Noel, ang pera ni Noel ay one-fourth lang ng pera ni Paolo. Mas madali sa akin ang um, ayan, mas madali ang illustration. Ang pera ni Noel ay one-fourth ng pera ni Paulo. So, kung ito, kanino tong malaki? Kay Noel, kay Paulo? Kay Paulo. One-fourth. Ilang hati yun? Apat. One. Sige, ganito na lang. Ay, ayaw ma-erase. Ayan. So, 1/4 lang daw. Kayo bahala sa hati. O, kung 1/4 lang ang pera ni Noel, ilang box ang meron siya? Isa lang, di ba? 1 out of 4. So, ito ang kay Noel. Sabi dito, and 3 times as much as Carla. Ibig sabihin, yung pera ni Carla, kasi kung 3 beses mas malaki ang pera ni Noel kaysa kay Carla, ibig sabihin, pangatlong kapat lang yung pera ni Carla kaysa kay Noel, tama? Ito lang yung pera ni Carla kasi sabi, ang pera daw ni Noel 3 times nung kay Carla eh. Eh di tatlong hati yan. Tapos yung pangatlong kapat, yun lang ang kay Carla, tama? Okay. Ano sabi? If Paolo has 160, oh, ayun na. Lalagyan na natin ng numbers. Kung ito daw ay 160, hinati mo sa 4. Ilan yun bawat box? 160 divided by 4. 40. Diba? Kasi 40. 4 times 4, 16. Dinagdagan mo lang ng 0. Eh di 40. Isa yan. 40, 40, 40. Dito 40. Oh, kung 40 ang kay Noela ay ang kay Carla ay ito lang kapiraso lang. 1/3 lang siya ng pera ni Noel. Paano mo gagawin? Paano mo mahanap ang pera ni Carla? Eh di i-divide mo lang sa 3. Kasi sabi 3 times daw mas malaki ang pera ni Paolo kaysa kay Carla eh. So 40 divided by 3, ang sagot ay 13.33 pesos. Ayan. Now, if you'd want to have yung first solution that we've had earlier, ito, kung katulad nito, asa na yun? Kung katulad nito, pwede rin naman isa-substitute nyo. So, Noel equals 1/4 times, magkano as much as Paolo, magkano yung pera ni Paolo? 160. 1/4 times 160, 40. Tapos para makuha ang pera ni John, eto no, gagamitin mo tong translation dito. So yung pera daw ni Noel ay 3 times ng pera ni Carla. Ano ang imumultiply mo? Ang 40 pera ni Noel, ito yun no. Anong imumultiply mo sa 3 para makuha ang 40? Mahirap. So i-divide mo na lang 40 divided by 3. Kung anong sagot, yun ang pera ni Carla. So, you will still get the same answer. 13.33 pesos. Next. Okay, this one is quite easier. If the time now is 4 p.m., what time will it be in 25 hours? My question for you, how many hours do we have in one day? We only have 24 hours, right? And every after 24 hours, the time will still be the same. Tama? So if it is 4 p.m. right now, after 24 hours, it's again 4 p.m. Okay? Pero in this case, we need 25 hours. So, after 24 hours, 4 p.m. ulit, 25 hours. So, may lalabis pa na isa, no? Kulang pa tayo ng isang oras. Doon mo i-add. So, 4 p.m. plus 1 hour, dahil kailangan natin ay 25 hours. Eh di, ang sagot natin ay 5 p.m. So, ganun lang. Titignan nyo lang lagi kung ilang 24 hours ang magkakasya. Kasi kada 24 hours, lagi niyong itatandaan, every after 24 hours, ang time parehas lang. So, kung ano yung lalabis, yun lang yung i-add ninyo. Okay? So, there are 24 hours in each day. 24 hours means you're gonna write the same time next day, but we need 1 more hour to make 25 hours. So, 4 plus 1 is 5 p.m. Another problem similar to this. Ayan. It is 7:30 a.m. now. What time will it be 50 hours later? So, bilangin mo lang. If right now it is 7:30, after 24 hours, it will still be 7:30 a.m. Maluwag pa, 24 lang yan, 50 kailangan mo. Baka pwede ka pang magdagdag ng isang 24 hours. Kasya pa yan, di ba? O, pagkatapos ng isa pa ulit sa 24 hours, 7:30 ulit yun. O, teka lang. Ilan na ba yan? Check nyo muna. 48 na. Ang kailangan mo lang 50. Kaya pa bang magdagdag ng isa pang 24 hours? Hindi na. Ilan ang lalabes? Dalawa. No. 48 plus 2 para makabuo ka ng 50. Yung lumabes, ay di yun lang. I-add mo 7:30 plus 2. Ibig sabihin, after 50 hours, the time will be 9:30 a.m. Ganun lang. Nuggets? Chicken nuggets? Okay, next one. How about this? 50 posts are 6 meters apart. What is the total distance between the first and last post? First step, identify the given values. Ano yung given values? Meron daw 50 posts at meron daw 6 meters na gap kada poste. Anong tinatanong? Ano daw yung total distance between first and last post? From first to last post, ano daw ang total distance? So, kung i-drawing mo yan or i-visualize mo, first post to second post, ilan ang distance? 6 meters. Second to third post, ilan ang distance? 6 meters. Third to fourth post, ilan ang distance? 6 meters. Fourth to fifth post, ilan distance? 6 meters. Hanggang sa makarating kayo sa 50th post, bibilangin nyo, ilang 6 meters kaya ang naulit? Kung nagsimula ka sa 2 at hanggang 50, ilang 6 meters ang naulit? Mm. May nabawas na isa, ay di 49, no? Di kasama to. Ma'am, bakit po hindi 50? Because we are not counting the number of posts. What we need is the number of gaps. Yung gitna. 'Di ba? So, babawas ka diyan ng isa. Ganun lang ang technique. Kapag ka pinapakuha kayo ng distansya ng dalawang objects, madaming nasa gitna, may first and last object, -1 nyo lang yung um, -1 nyo lang yung total number of objects. Kahit isa-isahin nyo pa yan at bilangin ninyo hanggang 50, kung hindi kayo naniniwala, that is still 49. So if we're going to visualize this one, ganyan ang itsura niyan. O, di ba? Hindi naman to kasama sa bilang eh. Ito ang unang bilang, oh. Gap pangalawa. Oh, gap sa papuntang pangalawang poste. Isa, dalawa, tatlo, apat, lima. Kahit bilangin nyo yan hanggang 50, 49 lang ang gaps na mabibilang ninyo. Now, ibig sabihin, kung 49 ang gaps, ibig sabihin 49 beses na ulit ang 6 meters. Anong tanong? Total distance. So, you're going to add. Add mo ang 6, 49 times. Kaya lang, abay mabagal ka doon, no? So, bakit ka mag-a-add? Pwede ka naman mag-multiply. Multiply mo na lang. So, ang 6 meters, 49 beses na ulit, eh di 6 times 49 or 49 times 6. And the answer would be 294 meters. Again ha, pagka po hindi nakakasunod, i-replay lang. Kasi baka na-overwhelm lang kayo. So, isa-isa nyo rin yung magigets. Ganun talaga. Pag beginner, kailangan pa ulit-ulit. Tiyaga lang, tiyaga. Pag di pa rin naintindihan, i-message po ako. Okay, how about you try this one? Similar. This is just similar to the previous one, just different given. There are 36 chairs in a row, each 2.5 meters apart. What is the distance between the first and last chair? What will you do here? So, di ba, anong technique? Oh, kung 36 ang bilang ng chairs, ang gaps niyan, ilan lang? 35. Oh, kada gap may 2.5 meters. So, ilang beses mo i-multiply yung 2.5? Ilang beses mo i-add yung 2.5? 35, 'di ba? So, ang 2.5 meter every gap, each gap, at meron kang 36 gaps. Pag minultiply mo yan, anong sagot? 2.5 times 36 o kaya naman 36 times 2.5. Parehas lang ang sagot nun. That is commutative property. Search nyo. Oh, 36 times 2.5 is 87.5. Anong 87.5 yan? Chairs ba yan? Ano ba yan? Meters. So always put that. So that's how you do it. Next, how about this one? The sum of two numbers is 21, and one of the numbers is twice the other. What are the numbers? Ha, isa lang yung absolute or isa lang yung short, 21. Huwag kayong kabahan. Nag-aral kayo ng translation, di ba? Parang ganun lang yan. Para ma-solve nyo ang problem na yan, i-translate ninyo from words into symbols. The sum of two numbers. Ibig sabihin, anong ginagawa? Addition. Kapag daw nag-add ka ng dalawang number, ang sagot daw ay 21. Ano yung second statement? One of the numbers. O, itatranslate ko lang. One of the numbers. Parang one number. If my number is X, is, ano pag is? Equals. Twice. O, ano yung twice? Two times. The other number. O, kung X ang ginamit mo sa una, ang sabi, other number, ay di ibang letter naman. Y naman. Ganyan. So, if we let this one X and this one is Y. So, ganyan. You should satisfy these two statements. If you're going to use trial and error, no problem. Kaya yan. Mas madali, lalo kung may possible choice, may possible answers na kasi titignan nyo na lang, alin ang nasa-satisfy dito sa dalawa. O, dito muna kayo, mas madaling hanapan ng possible answers ang first statement. Isip ng dalawang number na pag pinag-add mo, ang sagot ay 21. 20 tsaka 1. 10 at 11. Ano pa? 7 at 14. At marami pang iba. Lahat yan magsasatisfy sa statement number 1. Pero anong sabi ko kanina? Dapat dalawa ang masatisfy niya. The first statement and the second statement. So ngayon, kung lahat nagsatisfy sa first statement, check natin sa second statement kung alin ang magsasatisfy. So syempre, yung y, ito yung smaller number mo, no? Kasi pag minultiply mo daw yan, pag dinoble mo daw yung smaller number, ang sagot daw ay yung isang number. So, ibig sabihin, ito ay yung bigger number mo. So, tingnan natin, smaller number. Kapag ba ang 1 minultiply mo sa 2? O, kapag ba ang 1 minultiply mo sa 2, ang sagot ba ay 20? Hindi. Kapag po ba daw ang 10 minultiply mo sa 2, ang sagot ba ay 11? Hindi rin. Kapag po ba ang 7 i-multiply mo sa 2, ang sagot ay 14? Ayun, tumama. Ibig sabihin, yung two numbers na hinahanap natin ay 7 at 14. 'Di ba? Anong unang ginawa natin dito? Tinranslate natin para maintindihan natin ng maayos at ma-visualize natin, no? We translated the words into symbols. And then, we thought of how are we going to use these given statements to answer our question. Kung hindi nyo gagamitin yung isa dyan, mahihirapan kayo sumagot. Sabi ko, di ba, make use of the given statements because those statements will help you solve the question or solve the problem. Ma'am, natatagalan po kami sa trial and error. O, bibigyan ko pa kayo ng isang solution. Try natin ng algebra. Ayan pa rin yung statement, ha? Algebra lang gamitin ko. So, try ko yung x plus y equals 21. Ma'am, di ba po sabi nyo bawal or hindi kaya na isolve ang dalawang unknown number at the same time? Opo. So, paano gagawin ko? Kailangan x lahat yan at kailangan y lahat yan. Ayun, gagamitin ko yung pangalawa. Ang x, pwede ko gawing 2y. Bakit? Ano sabi doon sa second statement? X equals 2y. Katumbas daw ng x ang 2y. E di pwede ko ipalit ang 2y sa x. Tama? O ayun, pinalit ko lang. Tapos ibababa ko yung y equals 21. Oh, bakit? Pagka isang variable na lang yan, ang goal nyo, kailangan maging isa lang yung letter. So what are you going to do? You have to combine like terms. Combine ang magkakamuka. Evaluate nyo hanggang sa single na lang yung variable na yan. So hindi pa pwedeng masolve ang 2y. Ang y kasi may 2y pa, no? Pag isahin nyo, yun yung goal nyo. Kailangan, di ba, pag may hinahanap kayong unknown, dapat yung variable na yun, nag-iisa lang siya sa isang side. So, may kasama pa siya, 2y plus y. Pwede bang pagsamahin? Pwede. O, para lang yung dalawang lapis, inad mo sa isang lapis. Ilang lapis? Tatlo. So, always remember that in every variable, there is an imaginary one before it. So, para lang yan, 2 plus 1. E di magiging 3y. And then equals 21. Oh, ang 3y, di ba? 3 times y. How am I going to solve for y? Paano ko ma-isolate si y? May kasama pa siya, may kadikit siyang 3 times y. Anong ginagawa pag 3 times? Pag multiplication ang kadikit ng variable, di ba't ginagawa yung kabaliktaran? We divide. I-divide natin sa gusto nating matanggal na number. O di magiging divided by 3. O, property of equality. Kung ano yung ginawa mo sa left, gagawin mo rin sa right. Kung nag-divide ka ng 3 sa left, gawin mo rin sa right. So, makakancel to. Cancel na yan, 3 divided by 3. So, matitira na lang is y. Okay, so what is 21? Oh, ano po yan, ma'am? 21 over 3. Bakit fraction? Di ba pot ang fraction ay kaparehas lang ng division? O, i-divide nyo lang yun. Itong nasa taas, i-divide nyo sa baba. 21 divided by 3. What is that? 7. I have now one sure answer. Sure ako dyan. Now, how will I get the second answer? Maalin dito, pwede nyong gamitin. Pwedeng x plus y equals 21. At dahil alam nyo na ang y ay 7, alam nyo na ang y ay 7, isip kayo, ano kaya ang i-add ko sa 7 para maging 21? O, di ba't iba-minus nyo yan? 21 minus 7, 14 din ang sagot. Pwede rin naman, ma'am, pwede po bang itong second statement ang gamitin? Opo. X equals 2 times y. Kung ang y mo ay 7, o 7 times 2, 14. Meron ka ng sagot. That's how you do it. Okay? So maraming ways, kayo ang bahala kung anong mas madali sa inyo, ay di yun ang sundin ninyo. No? So hindi kailangan lahat yan ipapakita. Hindi kailangan lahat yan ipapakita, ha? Binibigyan ko lang kayo ng choice para um, Kung mahirap sa inyo yung isang way, edi gawin niyo yung isang way. Kayo ang bahala dumiskarte kung anong gusto nyong gawing solution. Okay. Parehas lang yan. Na-discuss ko na yan. Oh, you try this one. This is just a parallel question. The sum of two numbers is 45. One number is four times the other. What are the numbers? I'm going to translate. That's the first step. I need to understand the problem. I need to know the given values and what is being asked. So the first thing that I will do, I will translate all the words into symbols because that would help me easily visualize the problem. So the sum of two numbers is 45. Kapag daw nag-add ka ng dalawang number, ang sagot ay 45. At kapag daw ang isang number, one number, you assign any variable, is, ano ang is? Equals. 4 times the other number, so hindi na x yan, ibang variable naman. Ayan, 4 times the other. So if we let this one x and this one y, so what are the numbers? Maraming pwedeng numbers dyan kung trial and error ang gagawin nyo. So, kayo bahala. Isosolve ko using algebra. Kung sinolve nyo using trial and error, wala namang problema. Tignan natin kung tama tayo na, kung parehas tayo ng sagot. Okay? So, I will use algebra this time. X plus y equals 45. Again, we cannot solve two unknown variables at the same time. So, anong gagawin ko? Isa lang muna. So, para maging isa lang ang variable, I will use the second statement. Sabi dito, ang x katumbas ng 4y. So, instead of x ang isulat ko dyan, 4y naman. Para lahat, y lang. No? Isa lang yung, y lang yung lalabas dyan. Okay, and then you combine like terms, you simplify. 4y plus y, 5y equals 45. Now, my goal, if ever there is an unknown variable here or unknown value here, there is a variable. My goal is to isolate them on the other side. Pero may katabi siyang 5 times. So, what are we going to do? Kung multiplication yan, gawin mo yung kabaliktaran, tapos i-divide mo doon sa gusto mong matanggal na number. Ngayon, pag nag-divide ka dito sa left, mag-divide ka rin doon sa right. Hindi pwedeng isa-isa lang side kasi dapat balance dahil ang ginagawa mo ay equation. Equal. Balance dapat. So, 5 divided by 5 is 1. Cancel na yan. No need to write 1y. That would be understandable. Just y. And then 45 divided by 5. Ganyan mo isulat. 45 divided by 5 is 9. I have one sure answer. Tama ba? May 9 kayo sa answer nyo. Okay, after that, I will just substitute either with x plus y equals 45 or dito sa x equals 4 times y. Kung sa x plus y equals 45 ako nag-substitute, ang y ko ay 9. So, iisip ako, paano ko makuha yung x? Isip ako, anong pwede kong i-add sa 9 para maging 45 kapag um, kinuha ko yung sum. So, para mas madali, 45 minus 9, no? Kung ano yung sagot, yun yung inad mo. So, 45 minus 9, 36. So, di 36 na nakuha mo dito. O pag ito tinry mo, 36 din sagot dyan. So, kung ang y mo ay 9, 9 times 4, 36. Mas madali itong second statement na gamitin, no? Sa huli. Okay, so the two numbers that we are looking for are 9 and 36. So that's how you do it. Next one. Iya is making a basket. If she put three apples in each basket, she will make 30 baskets. Instead, she put five apples in each basket. How many baskets will she need? Sometimes, pagka paulit-ulit nating nababasa yung word, na ano tayo, no, natutuliro. So, isa-isa. I-drawing nyo. Mm. Kung tatlong apples daw ang nilalagay niya sa isang basket, Three apples per basket. Isipin nyo kayo si Iya, nagtitinda kayo ng apple. O, kung tatlong apples daw kada basket ang nilalagay niya, nakakabuo siya ng 30 baskets. Ngayon ang tanong, paano daw kapag ka limang apple kada basket ang ilalagay niya? Ay, ilang apple, o tama, kung limang apple kada basket ang lalagay niya, ilang basket kaya ang magagawa? Paano natin malalaman? Hindi nga natin alam kung ilang apples, yung total number of apples, 'di ba? Ganun yun, 'di ba? Bago ka mag-distribute, kailangan alam mo muna yung total number of objects mo. So, paano yun? Gamitin mo. Sige, anong pwedeng gamitin na given dyan? Ito, oh. Kung tatlong apples kada basket ang nilalagay mo, nakakabuo ka daw ng 30 baskets. Ibig sabihin, ilan ang total apple? Total number of apples. Three apples kada basket, tas nakabuo ka ng 30. O, ilang laman yon? 30 times 3. 'Di ba? Three apples, 30 baskets. Three apples, tatlong pung beses na ulit. 90. May 90, ano ka? 90 apples. Yun ngayon yung hahatiin mo sa lima. Kasi sabi, kung limang apples ang ilalagay mo kada basket, ilang basket ang kailangan mo? O, i-distribute mo yung 90. Lima-lima kada basket. Ilang basket magagawa mo? Pag nagsabing distribute, nagdi-divide, 'di ba? So 90 divided by 5 is what? 18. So meron kang 18 baskets. Ganun lang. Gamitan nyo lang ng logic, ng common sense, tsaka ng konting math nga lang yan eh. Ang imamat nyo lang pag plus, divide, multiply eh. Ayan, oh, ang explanation. O, kayo naman. Ella is arranging 96 pencils into boxes. If she puts 8 pencils in each box, she will need 12 boxes. If she puts 12 pencils in each box, how many boxes will she need? O, natataranta na naman kayo kasi mahaba. Isa-isa niyong sulat. Ang total number of pencils ay 96. Nung ginawa niya na bawat box daw ay 8, nakabuo siya ng 12, 8 pencils. Nakabuo siya ng 12 boxes. Paano kung 12 pencils per box? Siyempre, para i-check ninyo. Tingnan nyo muna. Yun ang one technique din eh. Estimahin nyo muna. You use logic first, no? Kung 8 pencils ang nilalagay ko kada box, 12 boxes ang magagawa ko. Eh, paano kung dinamihan ko pa yung laman ng box? Ginawa kong 12. O, dapat ang sagot ninyo, mas mababa ba sa 12 boxes o mas madami? Siyempre, bababa, mas konti, no? Kasi mas konti yung box mo. Kasi mas marami yung laman ng pencil. So, kung 96 ang pencils mo at merong 12 kada box, o i-divide mo yan. 96 divided by 12. Ilang box ang magawa? 8 boxes. Okay? Nakakasabay? O nakakasabaw na? Next one. 7 apples weigh as much as 10 bananas. How many bananas will weigh as much as 84 apples? Kapag po ganyan, yung way as much as, ayan, I don't know if you have noticed, pero meron tayong keyword, as much as. Kasing. Ma'am, parang ginamit na rin yan kanina. Multiplication ang ginawa. You have to be careful. O ganito ha, bibigyan ko kayo ng technique para ma-distinguish ninyo kung ang gagawin nyo ba ay division o multiplication. Kasi dalawa yan. As much as. Kapag po sinabing a number as much as ganyan. So that is multiplication. For example, twice as much as. Asa na yung kanina? Ayan o. Three times as much as. Ayun. Twice as much as. Pagka ganyan, one-third as much as. One-fourth as much as. May number muna bago mag as much as. Yun ay multiplication. Pero pagka ang sinabi ay, asa na yun? Okay. Pero pagka ang sinabi ay blank weighs as much as, costs as much as, ganon. Walang ano, bago mag as much as, walang number. Ang gagawin nyo doon, division, kasi ang ginagawa natin dyan ay ratio, proportion, no? Kasing dami. Ang seven apples daw ay katumbas or kasing bigat ng 10 bananas. Ganon. So, tatandaan ninyo ha, pag walang number sa unahan ng as much as, ibig sabihin, nagdi-divide tayo, ang ginagawa natin, ratio. Ano ba yung ratio? Katumbas, no? Yung mga ganun. Okay. So, seven apples weigh as much as 10 bananas. Ratio yan. Di ba ang ratio, blank is to blank, blank is to blank. Itong bagay na to ay katumbas ng ganitong bagay. So, ang ratio natin ay apple to banana. Pagka daw ikaw ay may seven apple, katumbas nun ay 10 banana. Yan ang concept ni ratio. Anong tanong? How many bananas will weigh? Di natin alam. Kung ang apples ay 84. Kung ang apples daw ay 84, ilan ang banana? Ratio and proportion ang gagamitin natin. Makinig. So, apple and banana. Ang ratio, yung pag may ganyan dalawang tuldok, pwede nyo yung isulat ng ganito. Yung nasa left, yung nasa taas isusulat nyo. Tapos, fraction bar, over. Tapos, yung nasa right, yun yung isusulat nyo sa baba, banana. Ayan. Parehas lang ng ibig sabihin yan. Okay po. So, kung pwede natin ganyan isulat, edi 7 over 10. 'Di ba? Equals, ang proportion ganyan. 84, syempre dito rin yung apples. Kung saan mo sinulat yung apples dito, doon mo rin isusulat yung apples dito. Tapos banana, alam mo ba yung presyo ng banana ay timbang ng banana or bilang ng banana katumbas ng 84 apples? Hindi. O, di lagyan mo ng variable. Tapos anong gagawin? Cross multiply. So magiging 7x equals 84 times 10. Tapos, o dahil ayaw mo niyan, si x lang gusto mo, di tanggalin mo si 7, divide mo yan. Divide mo rin dito. O, 84 times 10, 840. Ayan. Divided by 7. So, 840 divided by 7, 120, no? So, ibig sabihin, 8, tama, tama, tama. So, ibig sabihin, kung may 84 apples daw, merong 120 na bananas. Kung nahihirapan kayo sa pag-set up, so set up lang na ganyan, tapos cross-multiply, tapos cancel-cancel lang din. Kung nahihirapan kayo dyan, ang isipin ninyo, pagka may gantong ratio, yung katumbasan, ipag-multiply nyo yung magkaparehas. 7 times 84. Ipag-multiply nyo yung magkaparehas. Ganun lang lagi gagawin. Oh, what is 7 times 84? 7 times 84 is 588. Pagkatapos yung pag-multiply yung magkaparehas, saka nyo i-divide ngayon doon sa kaiba niya. Divided by 10. Oh, 588 divided by, abay parang mali. Teka lang. 84 times. Okay, ang ipag-multiply nyo pala ay ito. Dito lang din kayo. So, pag nasulat nyo yan, ayan. Di ba sinulat nyo ng gantong setup? 7 is to 10, 84 is to 120 bananas. Yung across dito, yung mag-diagonal, itong diagonal, ipag-multiply ninyo. Bago nyo i-divide dito sa taas. Ganun lang din yun. Para di na kayo mag-cancel-cancel. Okay? So, yung diagonal dito, ganun lang din. Ipag-multiply. Tapos yung sagot nun, i-divide nyo dito sa taas. Okay, next one. Ayan, ayan, may visualization lang yan. Pero parehas lang yan ang ginawa natin kanina. O, ito. 9 notebooks weigh as much as 6 textbooks. So, anong ratio yun? Notebook is to textbook. Is to textbook. Kung merong 9 notebooks, katumbas daw nun ay 6 textbooks. How many textbooks? Hindi natin alam kung ilan yung textbooks. So how many textbooks weigh as much as 72 notebooks? Oh, multiply nyo to. 72 times 6, 432. Tapos saka nyo ngayon i-divide sa 9. 432 divided by 9, the answer is 48. So ibig sabihin, kada 72 notebooks, merong 48 na textbooks. Pwede rin naman. Itong nasa baba, pwede rin yan. So, 'di ba? Yan 9 is to 6 and then 72 is to x. Ayun. So, i-divide mo yung nasa baba doon sa taas. 72 divided by 9, that is 8. Tapos saka mo i-multiply dito. Yun, pa ganon. Up, tapos right. So, pag up, divide mo, tapos pa right, multiply. 72 divided by 9, 8. Tapos, right? 8 times 6, 48. Parehas lang yun. Okay. So, kayo bahala kung anong gusto nyo. Kung anong mas madaling tandaan sa inyo, yon ang inyong gagawin. Next. In an office, the ratio of male employee to female employee is 1:3. O ang ratio daw. Ganun lang yun. Isusulat nyo kung ano yung naunang isulat o male is to female. Ibig sabihin, ang 1 ay male at ang 3 ay female. So, male is to female. Kada isang lalaki, merong 3 babae. If there are 12 males, how many employees are there in that office? Para ang hinahanap ay total number of employees. So pagsasamahin natin yung male at female. Kaya lang, ito yung totoong bilang ng male, no? Ay di natin alam kung ilan ang bilang ng female. Anong gagawin natin? Kailangan muna nating makuha yung katumbas ng female kung um, sa bawat 12 na lalaki. Okay, paanong gagawin? So, divide mo yan. 12 divided by 1, 12. Tapos pag ganito, multiply. 12 divided by 1, 12. Ang sagot, 12 times 3. Ano pong sagot? Okay. So, 36. So, ganun lang po ang gagawin. So, female. Female pa lang yan. Hindi pa tayo tapos. So, anong sabi? What is the total number of employees? What is the total number of employees? Ano gagawin natin? I-add natin yung number ni male at saka number ng female employees. Ayan. So, if we add the number of male and female employees, the answer will be 48. There are 48. There are 48 employees in total. Next one. Ayan ang explanation din. How about this? In a class, the ratio of left-handed to right-handed students is 2:7. Right hand, ay left hand pala muna. Left hand to right hand. 2:7. So 2:7. If there are 18 left-handed students, 18. How many students are there in a class? What should we do first? We get the total number of the right-handed students. So 18 divided by 2 is 9. And then you multiply it. So pataas, tapos pa right, no? Ayan. So you multiply it by the number on the right side. So, ano yung number on the right? This one, 7. So, 18, pataas. 18 divided by 2, 9. Tapos, 9 times 7. 9 times 7 is 63. So, 63 is the total number of right-handed students. How many students are in the class? We're going to get the total number. O, pag total, ina-add lang. 18 plus, ayan. Ay, sus. Naglolo ko na ang pen. Okay. So, 8 plus 3, 11. 81. Ano yung 81 na yan? So that is the total number of students in that class. So 81 students. Next, meron pa ba? Last two, last two. O ito, parang yung ginawa nyo nung deductive reasoning. There are three students, Emma, Jack, and Lily. Each studies a different subject, math, biology, and history. From the following clues, determine who studies which subject. Number one, Emma doesn't study history. The biology student is not Jack. So meron tayong math, bio, and history. Kung hindi, isa-isa yung sagutan. So, isang bullet, mag-eliminate kayo. Sabi sa first bullet, Emma doesn't study history. Therefore, ang matitira kay Emma ay math at biology. Next, the biology student is not Jack. So, ibig sabihin, si Jack, either ang hawak niya ay history o math. Third statement, history student is not Jack. The history student is not Jack. Oh, so buburahin natin to kay Jack. Matik, ang matitira sa kanya ay math. So sure tayo na si Jack ay math. Kung nakita natin na si Jack ay math, pwede na nating eliminate kay Emma yung math, no? So kung ang matitira kay Emma ay bio. Meron pang isang pangalan. Meron ng Emma, meron ng Jack. O, syempre, si Lily doon sa natitira. O, ano ba yung kay Lily? E di kay Lily ang history. Pero lang, isa-isa lang. Mag-eliminate lang kayo na mag-eliminate. So, you list all the possible answers, tas eliminate per bullet para ma-answer nyo yung gantong klaseng questions. Magde-deduce kayo. Deductive. Okay, how about this one? Napakadali naman ng last natin. So, four mangoes four mangoes cost 29 pesos. Ang apat na mangga daw ay 29 pesos. At that price, what will 2.5 dozen mangoes cost? Kada apat na mangga, ang presyo ay 29 pesos. Ang kailangan natin, ang presyo ng 2.5 dozen mangoes. 2.5 dozen. Ano ba ang dozen? Ano po ang dozen? Ilan yan pag dozen? Isang dosenang itlog. Ilan ang dosena? Dalawa. Dose, di ba? Dozen, 12. 12. Ilang dosena? 2.5. So, kung 2.5 dozen, dalawang 12, 2.5. Ano yung half ng 12? Ay, di 6. O, ilan yan? Last na, last na. Okay. So, ilan dapat? Ilang mangga ang kailangan? Ilang mangga ay tawag ba? O, tama. 2.5 dozen mangoes equals, ang exact bilang niya ay 12, 12, 12, 24 plus 6, 30. Ibig sabihin, 30 mangga ang kailangan mo. Kada apat na mangga, 29. Anong gagawin mo? You're just going to divide ilang four mangoes. ang kasya dito? So, 30 divided by 4 mangoes. Hindi natin kayang kunin ang exact dahil siya ay may decimal. 7.5. Diba? 7.5. Ngayon, saka mo imumultiply sa, tama ba? So, 7.5. Ibig sabihin, 7.5 na beses mong i-multiply ang 4 mangoes. Ayan. So, 30 mangoes, dinivide mo sa 4 kasi kada 4 may 29. Mm. Minus 4 mangoes. Minus 4. Minus 4. Minus 4. Minus 4. Ilan na yan? 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. O, ilan yan? 28. 28 mangoes. Eh, kada 4, di ba? 29 pesos. 29 pesos. 29 pesos. 29 pesos. 29 pesos. 29 pesos ulit. Tapos ito, 29 pesos ulit. Ilan to lahat? 28 pieces. Ay, kulang ka pa ng dalawa. At 30 mangoes ang kailangan. O, divide mo ngayon. 29 divided by 4. Ayan. 29 divided by 4. So, ang presyo kada isa ay 7.25. Para mas madali, imbes na ikaw ay mag-add ng 29 napakadaming gayaan, pwede rin naman, doable pa rin naman. Tapos i-add mo dalawang 7.25. Ganon din ang sagot nun. Pero para mas madali, ang gawin nyo na lang ay, ang pinakamadali dyan ay, di ba nakuha mo na ang 30 mangoes? Multiply mo sa 7.25 at alam mo na ang isang mangga ay 7.25. Kung tatlong mangoes ang kailangan mo, 30 times 7.25. Ayan. The answer is 217.5. Ano tong 217 yung presyo? Okay? So, kayo bahala kung mas nadadalian kayo kapag sinusulat yung isa-isa o kaya naman mas nakikita nyo agad, madalian, o kayo ang bahala. So that would be all. I will leave you with the worksheet so that you could further more practice. And we will answer that before we have our summative test para ma-refresh. So I will leave you with this quotation. Don't be discouraged by difficulty. Math may challenge you, but each problem you solve is proof that you are getting stronger. So try lang ng try, no? Unti-unti lang. So you just keep pushing forward. Thank you so much, and I hope you learned something today. Goodbye, everyone.